What's up, everybody? This video you're watching is my Night of Champions 2015 review video. I'll be talking about every match and my predictions that I made earlier in my predictions video. I didn't get a lot of them right. I did have a winning record of picking all the matches, but it wasn't very good. First match was, I believe, on the kickoff show. Was it Stardust and the Ascension? It was the Cosmic Wasteland taking on Lucha Dragons and Neville, and it was on the kickoff show. I thought they would have put it on the main show, but they did not. So it just shows you what they think of those 6 guys, that they put them all on the kickoff show. They don't think very much of them. So I picked the Cosmic Wasteland and they won. So I win 1-0 so far. Cosmic Wasteland won. This 6-man tag, it was decent, but there wasn't anything great, so I'll move on. First match of the Night of Champions show was for the Intercontinental Championship. Ryback defended against Kevin Owens. I picked Kevin Owens. I picked Ryback. I don't know why, but I did pick Ryback to retain the championship. I don't know why I thought he would, or why I thought Kevin Owens would not win it. I just was thinking that Kevin Owens wouldn't win the Intercontinental title till October, or Hell in a Cell or something. But he did win it, and I'm very happy. He's the new Intercontinental Champion. I'm a fan of Kevin Owens. He's not my favorite wrestler, but I'm a fan of his. I'm not a fan of Ryback's at all. People on Twitter know I'm not a fan of Ryback's. The guy is really boring and he puts me to fucking sleep. That's what Ryback does. He puts people to sleep. He has no charisma. He's boring as hell. So thank God Kevin Owens is the new Intercontinental Champion, and they finally took the belt off of Ryback because he was a god-awful, I thought he was a god-awful Intercontinental Champion. The guy was injured for probably 3 weeks or a month, and he didn't defend it. They didn't strip Ryback of the Intercontinental title like they had to strip Daniel Bryan. So Ryback was an awful champion. And I know Kevin Owens will be a way better Intercontinental Champion. So Kevin Owens is the new Intercontinental Champion. Let's move on. Up next was, I believe, Ziggler against Rusev. Summer Rae was at ringside with Rusev again. Lana is out with an injury. Who knows how long Lana is going to be gone. She could be gone 6 months. I hope she's not, because I miss seeing her on TV. So Ziggler wins, and I predicted it. I knew Ziggler would win. They had a good match, but I'm getting sick of seeing Rusev against Ziggler over and over, week after week. It's just, I'm done with it already. And people always are complaining they need to end. I don't know if they are sick of Summer Rae's storyline with Dolph Ziggler, or if they're sick of the Ziggler-Rusev matches. But people are always complaining they need to end their feud immediately. And I agree. They do need to end their feud, but I would have liked to see Summer Rae last night turn on Rusev and go with Dolph Ziggler and Dolph become a heel, along with heel Summer Rae. But they didn't do that. Dolph is still a babyface. Even if he was a heel, he would probably still be cheered every single show. So it doesn't really matter if he's a babyface or a heel. Dolph Ziggler won, and I predicted he would. And it was a good match, but it wasn't that great. Up next was the tag team titles on the line. The New Day defending against the challengers, the Dudley Boys. I predicted the New Day would retain and win the match and retain the tag titles. Well, they lost the match by DQ because Xavier Woods ran in the ring, interfered, and then DQ, so the Dudleys win but the Dudleys do not win the tag titles. So I kind of was right that the New Day would walk out as tag champs, because they did, but they lost by disqualification, so my prediction was wrong. So I took a loss on that match. And then Dudley's, the match, as I said, Woods interfered. New Day again on the microphone before the match. They were super entertaining. They're great. They're just great and fun to watch on television. They do great stuff. They're entertaining. Woods gets in the ring, or New Day gets a table out. They always preach, save the tables. They always preach that, and then they get a table out from under the bottom of the ring to try to use it against the Dudleys. Well, it backfires. Woods gets a 3D through the table by the Dudley boys. That was good to see. And I'm a fan of both of these teams. I'm a fan of the New Day because they're so damn entertaining. And I'm also a fan of the Dudley boys because they're tag team legends. So, Dudleys don't win the titles, but I expect they will probably win the titles before the Royal Rumble 2016. But I would like to see New Day having the tag titles. I'd like to see the New Day hold on to them for at least 3 to 4 more months. Up next was not the women's. I wish it was a women's championship, but it was a Divas title match. Nikki defending against the challenger Charlotte. If Nikki lost by DQ or count out, she would lose the title. So basically Nikki was screwed and had no chance of winning or retaining the title. At least when I watched it, after the Sunday Night Football game, when I watched the Divas title match, I was really hoping and I really believed that it was time for Charlotte to finally win the title. And she did. Very, very happy about that. Charlotte winning the championship. Hopefully, this can be a step in the right direction. And this can push the Divas Revolution the right way. And they can book it now the right way because Charlotte is a champion and she can have good matches with just about anybody on the roster. Except for Brie Bella. Don't put Charlotte in the ring with Brie Bella because Brie Bella can't really work. And Charlotte would have to carry her the entire match. But Charlotte did carry Nikki last night. Basically, she carried her and Nikki put on a decent match. But I think 1 or 2 spots, Nikki messed up 1 or 2 spots. But who cares? I thought Nikki did pretty good in the ring for what she can do. She did pretty good in the ring. She worked over Charlotte's leg and knee. Charlotte landed off the ring apron on the floor. It looked like she injured her knee, but I'm sure it was obviously her just selling it. She wasn't injured. She was just selling and selling and selling that her knee was injured. So the entire match, you had Nikki Bella do some old school wrestling and work over the knee and work over a body part. So Nikki, I thought, did pretty good in the match. But Charlotte was better. She just did. She's a natural. She is an absolute natural in the ring. It's obvious she's a natural. And she was basically born to be a wrestler. And born to be in that ring and put on great matches like her father did. So Charlotte winning, it's definitely a step in the right direction. And I'm very happy that Charlotte won. And then because she definitely deserves to be Divas champion, she definitely deserves it. She's the top female on the main roster, in my opinion, along with Sasha and Becky and Paige. So I had Nikki retaining. I don't know why I was so stupid, and I thought Nikki would retain the championship, but I did, and I predicted Nikki would win. Well, I'm really glad I was wrong. Charlotte won. Charlotte is the new Divas champion. Thank God. Up next was Wyatt family, I believe. 6-man tag Wyatt family versus Reigns and Ambrose and their mystery partner. Well, their mystery partner, I didn't watch the entire match yet. I just saw the end of it. Their mystery partner was Y2J. Chris Jericho returned to WWE television on pay-per-view. He was on television for over a month when he was hosting Tough Enough. But he's back in the ring. And I'm sure this was only a one-time deal with Jericho getting in the ring. Or maybe he'll be back for the next pay-per-view and back for Survivor Series. I don't know. Maybe Jericho will show up and be back on Monday Night Raw. Who knows? Raw is Jericho, you know. So, Jericho was a mystery partner. I had no problem with it. Jericho's entertaining. I'm a fan of his. But the guy should retire within a year. Because it's just, I mean, Jericho's done everything there is to do in the WWE. He doesn't need to really be back in the ring, except for just putting younger guys over. And that's probably why he was in this match, because Braun choked him out and Jericho passed out, and the Wyatt family won the match, and Jericho basically jobbed to Braun and the Wyatt family, because WWE probably wants to make Ambrose and Reigns still look strong and not get beat anymore. Because Ambrose and Reigns have gotten beat up a lot from the Wyatt family. So this time they bring in a mystery partner, so the mystery partner can basically job. I didn't see the 6-man tag yet. I'm sure it was decent, and that's all I gotta say about it. I predicted that Ambrose, Reigns, and the mystery partner would win. I was wrong. The Wyatt family won. I got no problem with the Wyatt family winning. I'm a fan of the Wyatt families. Up next was Cena versus Rollins for the U.S. title. I think this was bad booking, because they should have had Rollins against Cena kick off the show, because Rollins had to defend the title later against Sting. So why'd they have the U.S. title match? And why the hell did they make Rollins wrestle right before he had to face Sting? Why'd they put Rollins and Cena right on towards the end of the show? It made no sense to me. I mean, definitely wasn't fair to Rollins. He got no rest. I mean, after the match was over, Sting came right. After the U.S. title match was over, Sting's music hit, and he came right out and the match started. And Rollins looked dead tired, like he had no energy left. And Sting beat the hell out of him a lot of the match on the outside of the ring. So, Cena versus Rollins, U.S. title on the line. I predicted John Cena would win it back, and he did. I knew he would. I did not think Rollins was going to lose the world title. And I was right, he did not. But I had a feeling, I just knew it, that John Cena would win the U.S. title back and defeat Rollins. So Seth Rollins loses the U.S. title to John Cena. I got no problem with it. It's better having Rollins lose the U.S. title than losing the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now we're probably going to get Monday Night Raws. We're going to have the John Cena Open Challenge return, and maybe a new star from NXT. NXT talent can debut and maybe defeat John Cena for that U.S. title. I would like to see Samoa Joe come on Raw and defeat Cena for the U.S. title. Or even Baron Corbin. I would like to see him debut and face Cena in the Open Challenge. Or, I don't know, maybe even Finn Balor. But I doubt that happen, because Finn is an NXT champion. And I doubt they bring Joe to face Cena on the main roster, because Joe is probably going to start a feud with Finn Balor over the NXT championship the rest of the year of 2015. So who knows what they're going to do with the U.S. title Open Challenge. I don't know what they're going to do, but hopefully it's entertaining. And as I said, I got no problem with Cena winning the U.S. title. It's better than having Rollins lose the WWE title. And the U.S. title on Cena is better than having Cena with a world title. Or with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't want to see John Cena as world champion ever again. So up next was Sting versus Rollins for the WWE Championship. It was the main event. The final match of the pay-per-view in the entire night. They had Sheamus backstage teasing that he was going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. He went past Triple H and Stephanie and said, you're looking at, or I don't remember what he said, but something like, I'm cashing in tonight, so Rollins has another problem on his hands, or some crap like that. Sheamus, when I see the guy, I get angry. I despise the man. I don't know why. I just don't like Sheamus at all. So, F you, Sheamus. Rollins versus Sting. For what it was, a lot of the match was outside of the ring. And Sting even went in the ring during it and broke the count. And came back outside the ring to continue fighting on the outside. Sting didn't do much in this match, but he didn't really have to. And Rollins, he didn't do that much either. The match was kind of a mess because neither guy did very much. But then Sting took Rollins and they stood up on the table on the outside, and Sting was basically owning Rollins. He kept throwing him against the guardrails and throwing him against the stairs. So they get up on the table and Rollins pushes Sting backwards. Sting falls back through the Spanish announce table, and I don't know why someone didn't remove the goddamn TV monitors out of the Spanish announce table. The TV monitors were still there, and Sting's back landed in the back of his head. Looked like it hit a TV monitor. They should have removed them off the table so Sting wouldn't crack his head on one of them. Guy could have got busted open in the back of his head. He might have even got stitches after the pay-per-view. I don't know. He even could have suffered a concussion. I don't know. I guess from social media I found out today that Sting got injured. I don't know what his injuries were, but he did look pretty damn beat up before the finish of the match happened and before Rollins escaped the Scorpion Deathlock and rolled up Sting for the win. Sting did look very beat up. A doctor came out, WWE doctor came out, checked on him. I think Sting injured his back. He was like, he could barely stand. He was like holding his back. He injured his back or he suffered a concussion. I don't know. Or maybe he suffered some other injury. His agent said he's at home resting. According to TMZ, I don't know why TMZ is reaching out to Sting's agent and why TMZ is trying to find out wrestling news and report on it. I know they have TMZ Sports. They report on sports, but pro wrestling isn't really sports. It's sports entertainment. So I don't know why TMZ bothers reporting on wrestling or bothers reporting on WWE, but I guess TMZ probably thinks if they report on WWE, a lot of WWE fans will go to their website. And that's probably true. A lot of fans probably would go to their website and read news about WWE on TMZ. I have before, so I'm guilty of it, but I've done it before. So Sting goes to the table, could have suffered a back injury or a concussion, is my guess. And then they get back in the ring after Sting falls through the table. They're back in the ring, and then Sting takes 2 power bombs in the corner against the turnbuckles. That was a pretty brutal spot for Sting to take, and a pretty bad bump for him to take. I mean, he landed safe, but still, that power bomb against the corner, you're doing that to a 56-year-old man. So Sting could even be beat up and injured from those 2 power bombs in the corners. And then Sting And when Rollins went out of the ring, Sting climbed up to the top, and amazingly, I couldn't believe he was going to do this. The guy dove off the top onto the floor on top of Rollins, and Rollins caught him, and basically Rollins took the entire fall to the floor and basically held Sting until he fell on his back. So I'm sure Sting wasn't injured from taking a dive off the top to the floor, but still, Sting is 56 years old. He didn't really need to do that. He didn't need to high fly and jump off the top to the floor. He just doesn't need to do that at his age. But amazingly, he did that. I was pretty shocked, and it was pretty cool to see Sting do that. Because when he was 20 years ago, he could do that very easily. He could even dive over the top rope without climbing up to the top. Sting used to be able to jump over the entire top rope to the floor and dive on somebody. I'm sure he can't do that anymore, but it was brought back a lot of memories, I guess. Seeing Sting climb up to the top and dive on Rollins on the floor, that was cool because it felt like Sting. It felt like the old Sting. Watching an old Sting match, and it felt like he really cared in that ring, and he was giving it his all to try to win the WWE title, or giving a performance of a lifetime for the fans. So then Sting gets in the ring, hits a Scorpion Death Drop, pins Rollins, but Rollins' foot goes on the bottom rope. And then he hooks a Scorpion once. Rollins climbs and gets to the rope to break it. And then the finish, he puts on the Scorpion Deathlock again, and Rollins reverses it. Pretty cool spot. He reversed it, and then 1, 2, 3, Seth Rollins wins and retains the WWE Championship. And then Sting, real quickly, Sting left the ring and disappeared. Probably needed some medical attention and some help to the backstage area. So then Sheamus music hits. The crowd kind of popped. Like they were excited, but not really. I wasn't excited. I do not want to see Sheamus as WWE Champion ever again. Never, ever, ever again. The guy's boring, and the guy be a boring-ass WWE Champion. They should keep it with Seth Rollins until... I would like Seth Rollins to keep the title until WrestleMania. Or after WrestleMania 32, he could lose it. Or have Rollins lose it at WrestleMania 32. That's what I would do because I'm entertained by Seth Rollins as WWE Champion. I think he's been a great champion and he's been entertaining. So, as I said, Sheamus comes out, tries to cash in, giving his briefcase to the referee, and was about to cash in. He hit a bro kick on Rollins. Rollins looked knocked out cold. And before Sheamus came out, the crowd was pretty burnt out. I think they're pretty dead and burnt out during Sting and Rollins. They didn't make much noise. They were pretty dead. Even for Cena versus Rollins, the crowd was pretty dead. The crowd gave Charlotte a good reaction when she won the title and Flair came out and hugged her. That was really touching. Ric Flair started crying, hugging his daughter Charlotte. He's a proud father, and God bless Ric Flair. He deserves to be happy. Him and Charlotte have been through a lot. Charlotte used to be married to Bram, that psycho maniac Bram. Thank God she's away from him, because that fucking guy would have probably tried to beat her up and possibly try to kill her. So thank God Charlotte is away from Bram. And Flair and Charlotte, they've been through a lot as a family. Charlotte lost her younger brother, Reed, to, I believe, drug use. I don't remember how he died, but I think it was a heroin overdose. So Flair lost his son. I don't wish that on any parent ever. And Charlotte lost a younger brother. So they were both hugging in the ring. That was touching. They both were emotional. And Ric Flair kept saying to her, "I'm so proud of you. I love you. You're a champ. You're the world champion now." It was great. It was a great, great moment on a WWE pay-per-view. it was really touching because, as I said, Charlotte and Ric Flair were probably thinking of Reed. As I said, Reed, the younger brother of Charlotte, they lost him, and Reed was also Ric Flair's son, youngest son. So they got emotional in the crowd, gave them a great reaction, but for Cena and Rollins and Sting and Rollins, the crowd was just dead and burnt out, and the crowd was pretty bad. So Bro Kick, and then Sheamus was gonna pin Seth Rollins. Hopefully he'll never he'll cash in, but hopefully when Sheamus cashes in, he'll lose, and so I can laugh my fucking ass off, because I do not want to see Sheamus as champion ever again. The guy's good in the ring, but I really do not like him, and he doesn't need to be world champion. So Kane's music hits, and I thought Kane would return at Night of Champions. I read earlier Sunday afternoon that Kane was backstage at Night of Champions, so I was pretty damn sure that Kane was going to show up on the pay-per-view. Kane returns, picks up Seth Rollins, choke slams him. He's wearing the old 2003 Kane mask and the old 2003 Kane ring gear. I wish he would have been in the 1998 Kane mask, because that was the best look for him and the best mask. It was just a great character. That look of 1998 Kane was just awesome. But they had Kane with the 2003 mask, and it's cut out right here, probably so he can breathe better during matches. So Kane chokeslams Rollins. And then Sheamus starts telling Kane, pick him up again, pick him up, and chokeslam him again so I can win the title and cash in. So then Kane looks at Sheamus, grabs Sheamus by the throat, chokeslams his ass. I was really happy he did that. Chokeslam for the Rooster, that was great. If I would give Night of Champions a rating, 1 to 10, I'd say Night of Champions was a 6. It wasn't, I'm not going to say 5 because I don't think it was that bad. I'll just say it was a 6. Sting and Rollins did some good stuff in their match. A lot of it was brawling, but who cares? They still put on a decent, entertaining match. And Sting actually surprised me when he went up to the top rope and dove to the outside. So I'd give Night of Champions a 6. Rollins, I said, would lose the U.S. title. He did. And Rollins, I said, would retain the WWE Championship, and he did. So I was happy about that, and happy I was right in my predictions about Rollins. That's my Night of Champions. My voice is getting sore. Her voice is breaking up from talking. Probably because I didn't get a lot of sleep Sunday at all. Because I woke up early and couldn't fall asleep, so I just stayed up, watched football the entire day, and then watched Sunday night game, and then stayed up later to watch Night of Champions. So this was my Night of Champions review video for Night of Champions 2015. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching Monday Night Raw tonight, I'll be back on Twitter, tweeting the entire show live, unlike last night where I didn't tweet the entire Night of Champions live because I was watching my Packers play. So I'll be back on Twitter tonight, live tweeting the entire Monday Night Raw. If you want to tweet me or interact with me, just hit me up on Twitter and tweet me. I always answer back. Unless you're rude, then I just will mute you. Or unless you're an idiot, and then you will get muted, and you won't even know it. So, this was my Night of Champions 2015 review video. Hope you enjoyed it. I tried my best. Bye for now. Enjoy Monday Night Raw.